Hello and welcome to the next recap for the Rekef League. So, this video has been delayed quite a bit, unfortunately. We had some issues with delayed match days and stuff like that. And so by the time I could have done the recap for day 3, day 4 was already in full swing. And then we had to extend day 4. So it never really came to be. And I'm doing that now, basically. We're already into match day 5 by now. I didn't get to it earlier, but I didn't want to skip the recaps altogether. I'm once again by myself. I hope that I can get somebody in for the day 5 recap once again, but because of all the stuff happening, it just did not quite work out once again. And before I postpone putting out another recap, I thought I'd just do it by myself again. And we'll take a quick look at the results at least, and at the standings, even though there will be some day 5 matches in there, just so that we all know where we stand. So let's start with Division 3. And the first match here was the Lich's Night Howlers winning 2-0 over our Rats. And let's take a look here. That match was played, and the Necromantic team won. Yes, I'm very, very fluent here. The problem is now I have to always go back. Next we have a 2-0 win by the Portly Pounders over the Brittle Brutes, so that is Dwarfs over Norse. Then we have Trader Trashed winning 2-0 over the In Elves. That is once again Dwarfs over Dark Elves this time, I believe. Yes, I'm smart. And then we have a 3-0 win by the Argent Defenders over the Boulder Frist Amoebas. Amobus, I don't know. Still don't know how to pronounce that word in English. So that is humans winning over Nurgle. And then for day 4, we had an unfortunate match here, because this match did not end up getting played as much as we would have liked to. The thing why we extended the match day, in case you were unaware, because it wasn't announced outside of the league, we just posted it on our subreddit, was that by the end of the 2-week mark, I think 4 matches out of the 12 in total weren't played, so 1/3 of the league had not been able to play their match. I'm not sure why that happened. I mean, one of the big reasons always can be the time zone difference. We don't differentiate and put people into brackets like European, American, Australian, Asian, Asia and stuff like that. So we just mix things through, but because of the 2-week time per day, it usually works out. In this case, I know at least 3 matchups where that didn't work. Out of the 4, so I'm not sure about the last one. But this was one of those. They just couldn't really find the time, and by the time they did, it just was too late. And so the match went to our Rats. But all the other 3 matches got played, if I remember correctly, in the end, so I was okay with extending there by 1 week. But we'll get to them. Then we have Argent Defenders winning 2-1 over the In Elves, a 1-1 Dwarf mirror match here, Trailer Trashed versus Portly Pounders, and then a 2-0 win by the Brittle Brutes over the Lich's Night Howlers. So with 2 matches already played here, this is the current standing with both dwarf teams actually at the top. So congratulations to our Bash teams here. That's worrying just a little bit. They're also the only teams right now that are still undefeated in Division 3. So I'm interested to see how long that will stick around. But let's move on to Division 2 and see what happened here. And we've got day 3. First of all, a 2-0 win by Starry Blight over Normanomicon. So Orcs over... It's always when I just see the MVP and it's a zombie or something, because it could be, I should know this, but it's Normanomicon, so it's a necromantic team. Then we have a 2-0 win by the Necrons over the Mean Bean Machine. So that is Necromantic winning over Nurgle. And then we have a tie by the Nice Guys and the Nordic Noobs. So Chaos versus Norse. And last but not least, we have a 0-0 win Not the win. I think this was actually, yeah. Okay, this was one of the unfortunate matches, I think. As you can see right here, it's 5 SPP just by MVP. I don't know if there's a different way to say that. This is the first match we've ever validated as an as admins as 0-0 and not a win for anybody, because both players kind of neglected to set up their match. And so I didn't know how to because nobody was at fault here. Both players were at fault in this case. And so it just got... I would have liked to not give any points, to be honest, but I don't think I can do that. So it ended in a tie, and it's still very little SPP, at least. So I don't like that, but I hope there will be no repeat of that. And so far it looks okay. So we can leave that behind us and move on to current matters. It's just there probably were 2 coaches that usually get written about their matches and don't reach out themselves, which does not excuse it, but might explain why that situation came to be. And I just hope that both took that as a wake-up call and reach out themselves by now if they don't get reached out to. And as we can see, next match day, everything got played. Well, you can't see that yet, but I know that everything got played. So Steven Spielberg and co. won over Starry Blight. So that's Lizardmen over Orcs. Then we do have Nice Guys tying once again, this time versus... That was once again, yes, okay. Once again versus Post-Up Pamela Springsteen. Next we have the Necrons and the Nordic Noobs tying as well. And last but not least, the Mean Bean Machine rolling in a win against Normonomicon. Some of the Day 5 matches once again have already been played here, but let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. So in first we have the Necrons by Francolino, who is the only undefeated coach right now. And then he's followed by Steven Spielberg and co. and the Nice Guys. But there's still some options here. If he loses all of his remaining matches, he can still drop out of it. So nothing is decided here as well. I think in Division 3 it was similar. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And Division 1, as always, at least only one match played, so it's not as skewed. But let's just take a look at Day 3 first. We have a win by the Embracer of the Sun over the Big Bogan Brigade. I can't... It's all those words. It's not easy. And Embracer of the Sun, so that's Bretonians over Chaos. Then we have Just a Bloke in the West losing their first match, I believe. In this case, versus Pondosaurus. Is that their first match in total? I think it might be. Yep, it was their first loss since the creation of the team. So, good on Kejirus there to finally beat that team. I only managed to tie on the first day, or the second. Whenever I played them. Next we have a win for my team over Ratatonic. So that's Wood Elves over Skaven. And then the Boneyard Hillbillies winning 1-0 over Red Undead Redemption. So that is Undead versus Undead. And next we have Day 4, of course. So here we have the Boneyard Hillbillies winning 2-0 over the Embracer of the Sun. We have myself winning 3-0 over Red Undead Redemption. That was kind of a screw-up match. That was very weird, and the team value difference shone through there quite a bit, I think. My team's getting pretty insane in terms of team value. And next, we had Pondosaurus actually tying their match versus Ratatonic. I'm pointing that always out because it's my personal vendetta versus Kejirus and his Lizardman team. He won the first season. I still haven't won a match against him with this team. So I really don't know. But that's why I always point out to him, because he's my personal rival here. Everybody is, but he more than everybody, I guess. And last but not least, we have Just a Bloke in the West winning 2-0 over the Big Bogan Brigade. So the issue here was, I think 3 out of the 4 matches, or 2 out of the 4 matches in Division 1 weren't played in Day 4. And one division, I think Division 2, was it, or 3, one of the two, finished all their matches, so they unfortunately had to wait a week longer. But because so many matches were left unplayed by the end of the 2 weeks because of scheduling issues, we extended. Because in the end it comes down to, do you want to just drive through everything regardless of the cost, or do you want to allow the players to try and get their matches? And that would have been it was a week plus a day, because one of the matches was scheduled a day after the week-longer deadline had ended. But once again, I have to be honest, I don't like to do this, to extend the days that much. Rather, everybody would be on top of their game and try to make it work. I myself had to make use of the week extension because my opponent and I couldn't find a time. Otherwise, it would have ended in a default win for me, because I had the time and he had trouble adjusting to it. But I'm still happy that we got to play the game, even though it ended... I think it ended better than the default win would have, but it still would have been boring to get that. So I'm happy that it got played. But it's always the back and forth. Do you want to try and keep an even flow in a week that's already on 2 weeks schedule, so it's a little bit time between the matches to begin with, or do you want to try and get everybody to play their games? And in that instance, I made the decision to go for the latter and hope that we could get all the matches played, and we, for the most part, did. Did we get all of them, or I think we got all but one, something like that. But yeah, that was pretty good. So we have one match to take into consideration for day 5, which is why Motley is back up in first right now, because he won his next match again. But yeah, let's actually take a quick look at the divisions again now that we're in day 5, and just take a look at the matchups, even though it's gonna spoil some stuff again. So the Trailer Trash already won, and that puts them in first. But if Captain Yossarian and his Portly Pounders win their match, he's gonna go back up in first versus the In-Elves. And Lich's Night Howlers and Boulder Fist Amoebas are... Well, actually, the Lich's Night Howlers could still get up pretty far here. They could get into third if they win now. So this is still also a very open, up until the last 2 spots probably. For the Boulder Fist Amoebas and the In-Elves, it's unlikely, I guess, for them to finish in the top spots here. But it's not... I mean, we still have, at least for both of these teams, we have 3 matches left to be played, so nothing is completely over. But it's going to be difficult, I think, because it's also very dependent on what everybody else does. So right now, the top spots belong to the Dwarves, and it's going to be difficult, I guess, to push them away from that. But I wish everybody good luck, of course. Next, we have Division 2. Let's take the same look there. We do have Franklino in top, but just barely, although Poriful Z already played his match, so he's not going to move up. Nice Guys also played their match, so right now the Necrons are in a good spot because they're in first, although they have played one less match than basically the entire top half. So they can really make use of that and try to build upon that and extend their lead a bit. And in Division 1, it's a close race, in the top at least, I think, once again. We have, Motley in first right now, but he's already played 5 matches, while myself and Kejirus haven't, and the Boneyard Hillbillies here as well, who are in a good spot. After that, it drops off a bit, but still it's not impossible to really do something. And here the important spots are 1 through 4, because those are the ones that are going to stay in Division 1. And there can still be a lot of movement here with these last 3 matches. So I'm interested to see how that is going to play out. But yeah, I guess that sums up days 3 and 4. I once again apologize for the delay. And I hope that we can bring the next recap a little bit closer to the end of the day again. And hopefully finally with a guest. I promise I'll make it through the season with at least 1 guest appearance. But for now, this is the end for today. And thank you very much for watching this recap. So see you all next time. Bye.